I have to look mine up still.
Hi, witches!
Hey, witches!
Merry Witchmas!
Who's ready to find out some shopping stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that's hard about being a witch is like you don't really know where to get shit from and if it's going to be good and what are the reviews like and all of that. So what we tried to do is make it really easy for you to either get it for yourself, get it for a friend, family member, ask your hubs or your girlfriend to get it for you. But this way, we've already done all the research and we can tell you that this is good stuff and we use it and now you can just be like,
and we love it.
Done.
That's the thing. Not only do we use it, but we
like it.
Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
I don't know who else is here. I see 4 people are with us tonight. Pop in and say hi if you want to, witches. We'd love to acknowledge you.
Yeah, this is like Witch QVC, I guess, tonight. I don't know what else to call it.
Hey, Melissa.
And in the description of the YouTube video, sorry, I lost my words there for a second. I tried to put as much detail as I could as far as what everything's called, if it's by an author, where it's from. A lot of my stuff I get from Amazon. If I don't get it at Amazon, I'm lucky enough to get things at shows. Like we have Spirit Fest here in Florida. So Kat and I go to Spirit Fest every other year probably and get things that are more handmade or that you can touch and feel before you actually buy it. But I've been shopping on Amazon for a long time because I used to live out of the country and, you know, that was just easier. Get things that I know come right to my door. So I've kind of put together a bunch of stuff that's really helpful witch tools for us and hopefully for you that might be good for gifting this year. Okay, so the way that we're running this is I have the list of all the things that are on the video description right now on our iPad so that we can go through them and tell you guys about everything and just give you our suggestions, like what's good, what's bad about it. And you know, the crazy thing is that when I buy stuff, I'm a bulk buyer. Like I don't want to buy 10 candles. I want to buy 100 candles. As long as I know that they're good.
You should see her basement. It's evidence of all the things she buys in bulk.
Because I'm going to use it. I'm not going to stop being a witch. It's like, oh, why would I want to run out of, you know, green candles in a year? If I want, like when I want to do a spell, I just want everything on hand. So I do have a witch's closet where I have supplies that basically I could do any spell at any moment that I wanted to, because I have people in my life who sometimes, you know, they have things going on and they're like, can you? And I'm like, girl, I got you. Yes. And I know where all my stuff is.
And she always does the best job of putting together any kind of a ritual.
Yeah.
Like when we just did, what was the ritual that we just did with Jasper and for Jolene? We did it out in your driveway.
I mean, so it was for each of us, but it was manifestation of three different things.
So it was manifestation. Yeah. And it was like the coolest thing because she put out this circular
it's
blanket,
a tablecloth.
It was a tablecloth. Yes. But then all around the tablecloth, about every maybe 12 inches, but less, she had these little electric
tea lights.
Okay, so imagine this. It's a tablecloth laid out, and I think it was beige or white or off-white or something, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole thing was circled with these the lights that were you didn't have to light them, you turned them on, so they were battery operated, electric or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing. And then she had like this dish, and anyway, she always puts together the coolest rituals and has everything.
It's kind of you to say that.
It has everything and just makes it such an experience. We've just
been doing it a long time.
We're just so me and Jolene, we're just so lucky to be part of her little close witch group. If you guys were here, we would totally invite you over for our little rich ritual.
Yes, rich rituals. the witch rituals. Yes.
Anyway, I want to say hi to Misty and
Melissa.
Veronica.
Melissa,
there.
Misty, and Veronica. Hello, witches.
Welcome. Welcome.
Let's get started. I'm gonna try not to be all over the place. We have our whole table has a little spread, and we'll go through several products and books and planning tools, some tarot that we love, travel altar boxes, some design elements. We've got spell jars. The thing that I was going to say about the buying in bulk, though, is when I went to go look at the candles that I bought in 2018, because it was a pack of 104 and there's 10 colors in them.
And
it's not that brand.
Oh, okay.
No, that's why I'm like, they don't sell my brand anymore. So that's kind of crappy. But this is a candle set that I just got, and I wanted to test it out before I recommended it to you guys. But these are spell candles, or they can also be called chime candles. I guess we're jumping in. Are we jumping in?
We're jumping in.
Because now you just gave me a candle.
Of course. Well, you started to talk about the candles you bought, so I thought these were them.
Well, because
but the thing is, I want you guys to know, because we are not. We are very serious about our recommendations. We actually try this stuff out, and we know how it works, and we use it. So
I'm never going to tell you to get
this is a spell candle that's supposed to last 90 minutes.
It said an hour and a half, and I was like,
who's going to sit with a spell for 90 minutes? I don't have that kind of energy.
My other candles are only 30 minutes, and that's perfect time for me. And so these candles they're quite small compared to the ones that I use myself that I can't find now. So I'm very sad that I can't give you guys the link to those candles, because this is how big they are. That is my spell candle, and these suckers will burn down in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and this one says it's an hour and a half. And how long has it been going? And it's really not
6:40. It's been on there almost 30 minutes.
And it's burning very, very slowly.
Very slow.
Very slowly, because it's been on there since 6:40.
Yeah, almost
30
minutes.
Like 30 minutes. And
I'm shocked.
It's hardly burned down at all. So depending on what you want.
I like the quicker one because I sit with my spells until the candle goes out. That's my timer. It's not necessary. And I know a way that you could score it so that it would drip faster if you need that timer. I don't know.
Yeah, and also I like, sometimes you want to like read the wax, like what does the wax say? Like is there a message in there? Because sometimes the design of the wax comes out really cool, or weird things happen, and you're like, ooh, let me find it. What can I find witchy in that? But anyway, this is a 90-minute candle, and I think if it's already been going for 30 minutes, it's definitely going to last for 90 minutes
at least. Like, when does it start?
Who wants to sit that long with the spell? That's exhausting.
And I say that because I use my candles as timers for my spells. But I'm satisfied with the colors that it came with, and I did put the link in there for this box.
So this is what you're recommending.
I mean,
for candles.
Yes, but not to sit with it.
Candles?
No, these are the 90-minute. They had no 30-minute candles. I don't know if that's a new thing, or if people wanted longer lasting ones. I don't know. If I find, because you can go to the same brand that I posted, and it still shows that there's the option for the 104. And then when I click on it, it's like no longer available. It just has the 20 and the 40 pack. They're the exact same candles. The 20 and the 40 pack, but they're not the candles that I have from the last time I bought, which was in 2018. And that's why I buy in bulk. Yes. So I had no idea that was going to come about. So as far as a recommendation for a spell candle, I love these because they're small. They can fit into any of the altar boxes and stuff that you'll have. They don't take up a lot of space. Just for me, I would probably score them so that it didn't last an hour and a half, because I don't want to sit there for an hour and a half. Like my spell time is usually about 30 minutes. That's my good energy, keeping it up, repeating my mantra, whatever. But that is listed in here. And the brand is called Ladyrobyn. So I thought that was cute. Just Ladyrobyn store. I'm like, all right, Ladyrobyn sells candles.
So, and Ladyrobyn is all one word, and LADYROBYN.
Yes. Remember, you can find it in the description of the video.
In the description.
I also tried to put links, but because I own our channel, I can't get into it without seeing. It won't let me click on it. I can only edit it.
There's so many challenges.
I know when you own the rights to something.
So next we're on to oils.
Cat's oils.
Oh my gosh!
As soon as you open the box, you can smell them.
So these are Laguna Moon. Okay, which reminds me of Laguna Beach, California, where I came from. But as soon as you open this box, you smell them. They are wonderful, and they just last and last. And I've had these for quite some time.
What did you say, 3 years?
I've had them. Did I say 2021?
I did, yeah, 2021.
And they're so. Listen, I think this was about a $30 set when I bought it, maybe $20-$30, something like that. But it is lasting all of these years. They are not losing their scent. They're really just the scents of them are, if you're into scents, this is it right here.
It's a good one. I've had other oil packs, and I have a brand that I've bought that I make candles with. And I will say that after a year, if I have not used all of that oil, they all just start to smell like mint, which is really weird. So I don't know what the carrier oil is for that brand, but if it goes inside of a candle, it like preserves the smell better. Whereas if it's just left in the bottle with the dropper, my rosemary right now, it smells like menthol. Like I'm thinking, what happened to you? I didn't use it enough, like I didn't make the rosemary candles that year. So the smaller is better when you're just starting out. Buying in bulk when you do something over and over and over again, or if you use it for a certain holiday or a certain ritual. I loved it. Look, on there, the rituals from Melissa.
Did she say rituals?
Rituals, but rituals.
Well, I love Veronica. She says 20 minutes. My attention span is 5.
See?
Girl, I feel you.
That's where the candle is less important as being part of the ritual, because I have candles that I use over and over and over again for rituals that are like inside a glass, and they're basically, they just start it for me and then they end it when I blow it out. But some of the ones that I burn for color that will maybe say go on top of spell jars, an hour and a half, I don't want to do that. So I gotcha. I feel you on that. Find something that works. Because there's no rules to
and whether you spend
whatsoever.
5 minutes or 30 minutes, as long as you're focused
during
that time and your energy stays in that zone that it needs to be in, for the high energy level, where you're really focused on what you're manifesting, you're good. You don't need 30 minutes if you can't maintain that. So.
It's not a requirement. We're moving on to tarot cards.
Tracy would like to show us. Ask if you can show us how to score the candle.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have?
I would need a knife or scissors or a
Let
pen.
me find something.
Yeah. Let me show you. This is the other box.
Are scissors okay? They're kind of big. I can find you some smaller ones.
No, scissors are fine.
Okay.
Actually, go back to the 20 pack. I got the 20 and the 40 pack.
These are the utility scissors, and they won't cut much anymore, but they'll probably be good for scoring.
All right, let's see. I never use brown because brown is usually spells for the home and animals and stuff like that, so I don't use my brown very often. But you would take something sharp. Where can I have candle wax fall on, Mommy? On one of the trays?
Tray right here.
Yeah. We're going to go through this tray in a second. But I'm sorry if that was really loud. I just banged that next to the microphone. I'm so sorry. But you would, in 4 directions, you would go from the top, and what you want to do is cut into the candle so that it wants to drip immediately. And it's probably a little hard to, no, you can see that pretty well. But that's it. And then you would just cut on each side. And once you make it start dripping, what happens is that, show me this candle over here. Because you can, even if it gets like this, where it goes flat again, all you're really wanting to do is cut through the lip. Oh, shit. Hey, that's a trick. Yeah, I only put it on here with candle wax. Love that. It didn't burn anything, and it stayed lit flying through the air.
It did stay lit flying through the air. That's really good. And
you would cut through where it starts to create that tabletop. So you score it so that you can allow the wax to drip. And then the candle will, instead of keeping the wick lit, it will melt it faster since the candle wax will be able to drip.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was going to try to get this stuck on here again. There. So now that tabletop on the candle is gone.
And that tabletop is where it's kind of flat, and it almost develops a little cup.
Yeah.
That holds
it holds it in there.
It. So that's what you're wanting to score around the little edge of the cup, so that it creates a path for the
place for it
wax,
to drain,
the wax to go,
and it'll burn much faster that way.
So we'll see how this one does here in a little bit, and we'll probably be able to see the candle wax running down the sides of it.
Well, here, let's put this one on there that I've started, and then you could see it, because that one still looks like it's going to create the tabletop. But after I go through it, and you can see how soft the wax is. I mean, these aren't an hour and a half. I'm really shocked. I didn't read that before I bought the small pack of it. But go ahead and light that one and stick it to the table, and then we'll see the scoring and how much faster it goes.
Oops. Did I just blow it out with my...
I don't know what you did.
I think I breathed on it and blew it. What? I'm not breathing.
You're suffocating it. There, that's enough wax to just stick it onto that.
Okay.
Yeah, because you want to still keep the cone shape. As long as it has the cone shape, it will continue to run down like a tapered candle.
Okay.
Right? That's what they call it, tapered?
Tapered, yeah.
Tapered, yeah. Make sure I'm saying that right.
So I'm trying to get it to stick to the thing.
She's
here.
having a hard time with it.
I'm having a hard time with it.
Just the wax that you
okay,
melted
there
on
it is.
there?
Okay, there it
don't
goes.
knock it.
Okay, so this is what we have now, which is, can you guys see this?
Turn it this way. There you go.
So this is what we've got going on. So we'll check that in a few minutes and see what's happening.
Check it to see. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smells good. Smells nice.
Yeah, it says unscented, but it doesn't smell like cheap wax, which is also important to me. Cheap wax. I don't.
Ew.
Just no. All right. Next, I was going to move on to tarot cards because I think that when you buy tarot cards for yourself, you should really feel them out and see the pictures of as many cards as you can, because I think the connection usually comes with the illustrations and the symbolic representations that they put on there. And then also the book and how it describes the card and the message, how is it written and what's the language like in there? Do they try to make it really fucking complicated, or is it sort of easy and give you something that you can go off of that's not a book? I love all the different tarot cards, but some of them that write like 3 pages per card, it's just too much information to take in for me.
Who wants to read all that for each card?
I will always recommend the Kim Krans decks, but when I first got them, what impresses me is that what they come in is already a secure box that can travel well, that will protect everything, so you don't have to buy anything extra to protect it. My book is so beat up. I've had this a long time, but it has a normal size book with the pages in it and all the descriptions. It gives you an intro to the swords, pentacles, cups, and wands, and like kind of how to think about it. So it gives a good intro that's so different than all of the Rider-Waite-Smith books. So then the box that it comes in, it has this string where everything pulls out. Look how old mine is. It's falling apart. But then the cards are also in a protected box. Again, it's just there's packing around it that makes it last and protects it. And I
kind of like Apple does their packaging. It's kind of that level of quality.
That level.
Yeah, that's what I feel like about it. Even though Apple's not really meant to keep getting in and out of, but if you ever buy an Apple product, their packaging
it's perfectly formed around.
I mean,
the thing.
it's just so different than what you get with so many other products.
Yeah. The small deck that they offer now, they're doing it for more and more decks now as well, but the small pocket deck also is amazing. The tin is waterproof. I've had this out in the rain before, traveling to places where I'm reading, and it's never gotten wet. The book is super tiny, but it still has all the information in there, and it's not super hard to read, but I think maybe in 20 years it'll be hard for me to read.
I'll tell you, this deck actually makes a really nice gift for yourself or somebody else. It's beautiful, and even if you're used to another deck, you'll love it. Yeah, I can read it.
I love the little cards.
I mean, the pictures are really small, but the text is not a 2-point font. It's more like a 5-point font, but it's easy to read. So like all the cups of the family.
I love it.
Like all the cups family, the sun truly excels within the arts. Okay, so that's just me reading the little tiny font. But it's not that tiny, actually. It's actually pretty big.
That's why I was asking you
for
if
a
you
book.
could read it.
For a book this small.
Yeah. It's a tiny book.
It's about the size of a business card. That's about the size,
Yeah, you think so?
Like this is about the size of a business card. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I still love it. I mostly use this when I'm trying to travel somewhere but go light. So when I went to all the trips that I've been taking to Europe in the last couple years after COVID, this is the deck that I take because it's easy to fit. I don't really need anything else with it. I mean, and we're just backpacking. You guys are like, my husband and I, each of us gets a backpack and that's it. So this is the better option for me. I don't even take my whole travel altar or anything. I collect things while I'm there that go in like a little bag and then I bring them back instead of taking a bunch of shit with me there. It's like I collect things to go on my altar throughout the trips. So this is the deck that I recommend 100%. I love it. I think it's very feminine, and that's what I like about it, because the Rider-Waite-Smith deck was written by a man, and it's good, and it's the deck that a lot of decks are built off of. That's great, but I've never connected with it as much as I've connected with something written by a woman, using different words, using animals and families, and like really, I love it. Next up for this season, if you guys haven't seen these cards yet, this is called Season of the Witch. They have every holiday out except for Astara, which is coming out next year. So I've slowly bought each of these decks as they've released them over the last 4 years. But Yule is a beautiful deck that's more of it says a Yule Oracle deck. And for having decks during the seasons, I think is always fun because you can get into them and see like messages that are applicable for this season, not just the entire year, like a tarot deck or other Oracle decks would be. The illustrations are wonderful. There's 2 different illustrators for the 7 decks they have out right now. It's small. It's manageable.
They're pretty too.
They're gorgeous. Show the edge.
They're really pretty.
Each one has a different color. So Yule is green. Samhain was orange, I think, like a burnt orange color. But the messages that are in them it's just really nice. If you have a chance to go to a store and look at them and see if you connect with them, I really like them. This is the card that I got the other night.
This is a card I got the other night. We just did a reading like 2 nights ago. So I got the forest.
The forest.
And you got chills.
I got chills, yeah.
You got chills, yeah.
So it's an Oracle deck, but I love that it's for the season. So if you're thinking of seasonal gifts, this is just I lost an earring. My earlobe said, too heavy. I think I may have grabbed the wrong back for this one.
Oh, okay. They're so cute. I love them.
So
Misty says, I just bought the Samhain, but I didn't know that they had other ones.
Yes.
I gotta have it. Yeah.
They have all 7.
Girl, I feel that so deep. On such a deep level, like I want all the decks.
They're gorgeous. The messages in them are timely for the season. So each time the wheel turns, I just put that season's deck out. And that way, if I have anything going on, I'll be like, I'm just going to draw a card from this really quick. It's a seasonal card. So that's the tarot card parts that
I just want to put this up where people can see what's happening, what the progress is of our candles.
The scoring, you got it to where you got one side that dripped and then it stopped.
I know it stopped. Like it's not coming down, but I'm going to try to.
Yeah. See, if you got to fuck with them too much, that's not fun.
I'm going to try to make it.
While it's on, don't flip the candle off the plate like I did.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's not going to stay.
I know. Yeah. So the other thing with having spell candles or chime candles, both of them, they use both languages when you're looking to buy them, is to have a holder that it can go into, right? Everybody wants to make these holders and sell them. I use a little cup of sand, a little container, whatever container I want of sand.
Salt or sand. Salt works
sand,
too.
Yeah.
A little
push it in
cup
there
with salt works really well. I did that with our school stuff, and I really liked the way that worked. Because it sat straight. It sat in there. It was secure. And when it burnt down, it made. And what the coolest thing was, it made this little circle of sand with wax, and it was like, oh my god, look at that, so cute. I'm just weird.
It was cute. No, it was pretty. It was the design
cool.
It left.
It was cool
because they burn clean. Like there's really not a lot to have left over from some of these, depending on the brands that we get. But I'm gonna have to do more research on candles and find the ones that are closer to what I was buying before.
I'm just looking to see how this is.
I know. I almost want to. I brought my other ones because I thought I was going to be able to still find them.
Yeah. Okay.
What? Start a pink one.
Oh my gosh, this big guy.
I'm telling you, it burns fast though.
Does it?
30 minutes.
So which brand was this?
This was the same brand, but they've like updated their product. They don't offer this one anymore because you can see how much bigger that is.
It's really melting the wax quickly, so I get a little glob of wet wax here that I can stick the candle onto and have it stand up here for me.
We're just
without having salt.
Doing a candle tester as we go, I guess.
And that's it. Okay, now we'll just see what happens.
Rice, yeah. Misty said
rice would work too.
I have some tiny flower pits. Flower pits? Am I reading that right? Flower pits, and you'll put sand and rice in it. Pots. It's probably flower pots.
Yeah. I have these cute, I always like these cute little dishes that I find that are just like super cute, and I like to use those.
Yeah.
I even have a teacup. So I got a teacup set with little saucers and little bitty cups and stuff from like an Oriental type of thing. And I'm not really going to use them, so I turned them into a witchy thing. I have like all these little bitty cups that are just like absolutely perfect for putting candles in.
Nice.
And putting things in. They're like so cool. Yeah, she said pots.
Pots, yes.
Okay. You can't go too close, honey, because then they can't see them.
Okay, I need you to reach across there and grab the altar cloths.
Oh, we're going to do altar cloths.
Altar cloths are next.
Now, all of them?
Okay. Yes, including that one.
I want to make altar cloths.
You could. It would be so easy. But I want to
make them. I want to get into sewing, but it has to be. I have to start out really simple because I haven't sewn in years, and I don't want to be.
It's a hemline. It's not like you're gonna
for altar cloths.
But not even this one. This is fabric that's been cut.
Yeah, but where do you find fabric like that? You don't. You can't find. You can't buy a piece of fabric like that.
Smells so good. It smells like my kit. So this is the altar cloth that I use a lot. It's a 18 by 18.
And did you get that when you were getting your mindful whatever?
No, not this one. I'll show you the one that
boxes.
I bought.
She was getting a subscription.
Lunarly.
She was getting a monthly subscription to Lunarly for about a year.
And
got so many cool things.
So it was such a neat service.
So many cool things.
But I will show you guys, like I have, this one has a hole in it. You can kind of see my thumb behind it as it comes through. I burn sage. I burn Palo Santo. I've got candle wax stripped on some of them. I mean, they go through it, and I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me to get them messed up. I just don't want them dirty. So by dirty, it's like dust and pet hair and whatever. But I have lots of altar cloths. I like to change them out. I don't know why. They're not very expensive. If it's regular fabric, you should not be paying more than $10 for one. $10 would be on the high end. So when you find them, it is a very thin fabric that you could almost see through. You know, like this is not thick. The print does well. I do not hand wash these. I throw them in my washer and they do just fine. I wash all my altar cloths. Just make sure you try to scrape off extra wax if you get wax on there before it goes in your washer, because it's not fun if you put it in the dryer with wax on it. It just gets on everything. But the 18 by 18 is the normal size. And there's a store called Indian Consigners. They have so many prints and they have so many sizes, and the price is right with them. I've gotten at least 6 from that specific site, that store, that seller on Amazon. And I like all of them. They're all really good. The thinner, the better, I think, because as you're carrying stuff and when things get on it, like you just don't want this big bulky thing to, I don't know, wash, carry around. Again, I usually take my stuff with me, so I want things that are a little bit lighter. So that's one version of an altar cloth. Then you have these thicker ones, and you won't find these really online. This is like a canvas, thick cloth, very thick. So whatever goes on top of it, like the candle wax that I have spilled here, if you want to protect a surface, you're going to want like the thicker canvas style. And I've only found those at shows like Spirit Fest, because you have to go and feel the fabric. They'll say linen, they'll say cotton, all kinds of shit online, and it is never the thick ones. The other option besides the thick canvas one, which I love this one, it's very beautiful. I've washed it a couple times. I don't think this one has any burns in it. No, I don't think so. But
I noticed on the back of that, like this one, you can't see the design.
You can't see the print. Yeah.
You can't see the print like you could the other one you did, like this one that you just held up.
Yeah, the thinner one.
That one, yeah. So you probably noticed that you could see the design
through
on the other
it. Side, yeah.
And this one is much, much heavier.
Yeah.
But Veronica has a question about if you leave them on the altar all the time, and she doesn't really like tablecloths.
Yeah.
But she really wants to collect or protect her altar.
Yeah, the thick canvas, or the next one where I'm going to show you, is more of a velour or a velvet.
Well, and do you leave yours out? Because I don't leave mine out. They come out when I'm going to do tarot or something, but they don't just stay out. So
yeah, I actually have where my altar would be is just painted flat black. And then if anything gets messed up or anything's going, like I just paint over it.
I had a runner, like a table runner.
Oh,
you know, if I find a nice runner that I like, that's got the pattern or design that I want, I'll use that. I had that for a while over there on that shelf.
What was the material?
It was thicker because it was literally a runner meant for your table, like to decorate your dining room table. Yeah. And I just used it for my altar space over there. Yeah. And it covered, because I didn't want to mess up the cabinet that it was on. Yeah. And I didn't want anything damaging it.
So my next one was
your antique cabinet. You probably want to protect that and make sure.
Exactly.
And you know, something that you can do is, like when I was doing puzzles, I'd buy big pieces of felt. I think it was felt that you can buy at the fabric store. Yeah. That's almost like an underlayment to it. So you might consider putting a piece of that down and then putting your altar cloth on top of it. That will give you added protection.
Yeah.
So if your altar cloth's thin, something spills, it won't be able to go through so easily, you know, to the wood.
Yeah, the liquids, you know, if you're working with water, if you put things in a chalice or a shell or anything, I don't work with water at my altar, so I don't have anything that liquidy where it would get through stuff. But the velvet ones that I have, it almost feels like plasticky, polyestery.
Oh yeah.
Shit. But the top is velour. And what I like about these styles, I wanted this one forever, and I finally bought it for myself a couple years ago. The print, the color that can come out with these is just flipping gorgeous. I just love the print so much.
It's very vibrant.
Yeah. And that doesn't fade. Like as I wash it, the print doesn't fade.
That's because it's printed onto plastic.
It's plasticky. I don't know. Like it feels like flag material.
I don't know what it is.
But this side is like velvet.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you
what do you say this one is then? Like how do they have both? I don't know how shit's made.
I don't know. But it's pretty.
So this one does stay out. I actually hang this one from my wall when I'm not using it, and I only pull it out at certain times, like when I'm having a larger group, because it's a bigger one. It's 25 by 25, not 18 by 18. And they have this, I put the link to this one in the description, and it also comes with a little freaking bag. Oh my God.
What's going on here?
Oh, see my pink one melting?
Look, the pink one's melting into the blue one. Can you guys see that? Not really, huh? Yeah.
I wonder if the heat
touching it.
Yeah. Well, and the pink one's like, it's draining downward. So you can see how its cup, like, it drains faster.
Yeah.
So with this altar cloth, it came with an adorable little bag that you could also use your tarot cards in, and then fold this. You don't have to keep your altar cloth in the bag, but I loved it. It was $16, which, like I said, altar cloths shouldn't really be more than about 10, depending on how big you get them. But that is also one option, a beautifully printed one. And again, I use this for decor as well, because I like to see it all the time. So I have, the way that I hang it is so funny, you guys. I have binder clips, like very small binder clips that I put nails in the wall, and then I clip it on there with binder clips so that it just hangs like a tapestry. And then it's easy to come on and off, like when I want to use it or put it back on the wall. It's not a big deal. I love that one.
That was really pretty.
Thank you. I love it.
Where'd that come from?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Amazon.
Was that one of the 2 places that you recommended to get altar cloths from?
Yeah, that's the one that's called, did I skip ahead? No.
I just saw it on my
VIDAYA. VIDAYA is this one. Super pretty. I just love it. Other options from that same store. So when we do our year ahead spread, we would bring out like 3 or 4 altar cloths to patch over the whole table. I didn't have one big enough. And I think it was last year, my mom and sister were like, we just need one big altar cloth. It's like, done. You say no more. I have a big one in mind that I have really wanted. I still don't think it's big enough for the whole table, but it does a good job.
A circular table. That's so pretty.
So, is that gorgeous?
I love that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Again, it's the thin fabric, super thin.
So when you can see through it. So
yeah,
show them the backside.
You can see through it, most definitely.
Yep.
Can you see my face a little bit?
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
No, you can see the whole design.
You can see the whole design, yeah. So not very expensive and washable, and just, again, it's, if you travel with it, if you want something bigger, if you have like a small square table that you want to have the thing drape over the top of, there's just so many options with altar cloths. And I think each one gives a different mood, a feel. If you know the ones that you have and you're like, oh, this one really goes for my winter theme right now, or this one really goes for my spring and like refreshing renewal, like the goddess ones, and then sacred geometry ones. I mean, they're just, with the moon cycles. You already saw my first one that was like this. I really love the flower of life design. I just love it. I like sacred geometry. And then having the corners with the stars in it. Yep. Again, just a thin one. These are my favorite because they're inexpensive. They're easy to change out. I can wash them. It's not a big deal. Yeah. That is all. Okay, it's not all of my altar cloths, but it's the ones I'm showing you tonight. So those are all the options. And the thin ones, those are all from that Indian Consigners store that I posted in the description. What is
Indian
next?
Consigners store and
VIDAYA.
Yeah.
That's the printed.
They're stores on Amazon or vendors on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so next is spell bottles.
Spell bottles. All right. Anything can be a spell bottle, spell jar, anything. You can look online and get like expensive little tiny jars. I promise you, if you drop them, they are going to break. I use my teeny tiny ones to store stuff. They are less for true spell bottles. They might hold crystals for me instead, like during a ritual. It's a container to hold things in. But these small ones, I listed them on here. They're just the small cork top bottles. This is a better size because most of the things that you get that you would want to put in a spell can fit inside the bottle, because necks of bottles are a real problem when you get into the teeny tiny bottles. You can't fit a lot of shit in them.
I bought a whole 100 of them, and they came and they were like this big. They didn't look that big on Amazon, but they were so tiny. And I was like, oh, well, that's really cute. What am I going to do with that?
Yeah. So knowing,
not going to get anything in there.
Knowing sizes, my suggestion is, if you're looking for a certain size, know what that measurement is. Like, this is a 5 ml.
Yeah, they always put them in, nothing's in inches, so you got to find a converter so that you actually know. And then
5 ml.
Hold it up to something that's that size so that you really get a idea.
Or a bottle or jar of something else. Like, they have teeny tiny things that, like a thing of toothpaste, like the travel toothpaste. All right, that's 2 ounces. This is not even an ounce. Well,
I just bought this necklace. I know you guys probably can't see it, but I bought this really pretty necklace, and online it looked like it was the size of a quarter. In real life, it's the size of a dime.
It's a dime. It's not that. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but it's just, when you get it, then you're like, oh shit, it's so much bigger online.
That's what she said. I knew you were going to say it. All right, so these little tiny ones, if you like this, I put the link for this online for Amazon. You can get them other places. The only difference is going to be your cork. Test your corks out, because sometimes they're so brittle that once you start pushing them in, it goes in and you're never getting it undone. And maybe you don't want to, and that's okay. So just for the small bottles, seeing them in person is a lot better. These bottles with the little metal screw tabs, this is from
Hobby Lobby or Dollar Tree?
Dollar Tree. This is from Dollar Tree in their craft section. They pretty much always have them there. These bottles are perfectly fine. They're definitely bigger than the ones with the corks, and their neck is not as squished, so getting things in there. And I'll tell you what, sealing, if you want to put oils or anything gooey like honey, the sealing like this is a lot better than your cork ones. This is a material that will over time rot and degrade because it's organic. This one is not going to. This is an aluminum lid, so this is going to last a lot longer and not degrade and grow weird shit on it. The ones that I like to use, because for my spells, I honestly reuse the jars all the time. I let my spells go when they're finished. Like, I return the stuff to the earth or throw the things away or recycle them, whatever. So I like things that I can wash out and reuse again. So I like the jars that are more like this or have a screw top. I want the materials to last. What was it? Oh, but this little bottle is from Hobby Lobby, and they have these on sale, which is like 40 or 50% off every other month probably. And I'll just go buy 5 of them if I need them and just keep them for when the time comes around. But like I said, anything could be a spell jar. Your old olive jars, like any small jellies or jams, like anything. Just clean it up, paint the fucking lid.
That's what I was doing. I was using little skinny bottles and things.
Not like pickles.
Capers.
Not pickles.
Capers, little like
Does
they're
it still
about this
smell like
tall.
A caper?
No, it didn't smell like a caper. But you could get the label off really easily, and then I would spray paint like with like a rose, like a rose gold or just gold or copper looking. I would spray paint the top of it, and then I would have this nice size jar for. I didn't use them for spells, but I used them for storing things that I was saving for spells.
Yeah. So the organization of it, right? I put the link to these jars specifically on there because these are really what I use as spell jars. I like my jars to look uniform, and I like the black lid. This is from the Rocky Mountain something. Did I put it in here? Shit. I didn't.
North Mountain Supply?
North Mountain.
North Mountain Supply straight canning. Okay.
So
that's on Amazon.
A pack of 12, $20. But honestly, all you would have to do is put in, this is 9-ounce jars. So that's the size. So you're looking at the different sizes as they come in, right? Like how much stuff do you want to fit into a spell jar? Filling a space that's larger can be more difficult depending on what you're doing. This is a health spell that I did for my husband when he got pneumonia way back 4 years ago.
Yeah, during COVID.
And I haven't, right after COVID, I haven't released it yet. I still keep this around because his health has been improving ever since then. I'm like, nope, still working for me. But so I've got cinnamon sticks in there and like actual whole pieces of jasper, a pine cone from our yard. I've got rosemary and juniper in there. And when I did the spell for him, I couldn't see him. I had to have the nurses take him the jar. It was really fun bringing in weird shit and then being like, what? Like whole branches of trees. I'm like, he needs to be smelling this. This is good for the lungs. Like you have him contained in a room where he gets 0 fresh air. He's breathing recirculated hospital air. And I told him, I was like, you need to open this jar up and smell it as often as you can. You know, like the ingredients were part of the spell of like opening up his lungs and keeping things refreshed. So these jars for spells, but then the next thing that we're going to be getting into is like crystal chips. So if you think about that, you want to do spell jars that are this small, crystal chips are the way to go. Now, I already told you I buy in bulk. I buy a pound of crystal chips at a time. That's all I'll ever need forever. And I can give some away to other people. Like if I do spells for them, it won't matter to me. I won't miss them. But that's at least easy enough to get into these smaller bottles where you're not, like, I don't know what else people fit in there, but then I can also make this to where this holds a bunch of amethyst. That's what this is right here. And I can put it as part of a ritual. And instead of having like a big chunk of amethyst, guess what I've got? I've still got the energy of the amethyst, but contained in a smaller bottle. So those are how the spell bottles work and the crystal chips work. The crystal chips, I will say there's one brand I really try to buy from exclusively on Amazon that I've bought from for a very long time. And everything that I've ever got from them has been good. And it's called Rockhound. So everything that you get comes in these little bags.
Rockhound or Rockcloud?
Cloud. Rockhound is what people are that collect rocks. I'm a rockhound.
I'm looking at it like you wrote Rockcloud.
It is. It's Rockcloud. Rockcloud, not Rockhound. But this is basically how they come in a bag. It'll label it for you. So this is my rose quartz bag. And I put it into jars. And then I keep it and I can use it. So I have my witch's apothecary, where all my ingredients are for whatever I need to do. I probably have 6 to 8 bags of crystals. So each crystal covers different things and I'm set, right? Like I don't need to go get out a bunch of other stuff like this spells call for. It's like, no, I have a stone that's for self-love or love. I have one that's for the blood or healing or the heart. So that's how I do my spells. So I keep the stones that I know those are spells I'll do things for, just like the colors of the candles. I have it all color coordinated in my little dresser thing. I was going somewhere with that, but I forgot.
Well, you were talking about rocks.
Yes. Well, chips. That's the crystal chips. And I know most people want to have like stones they can carry or palm stones. Pick your favorites of those. But if you're using stones for spells, I think that the chips are the way to go. They're easier to fit places. You can reuse them. It's like you have a lot of them. So anything that you want to do with them, you can put them around your house. Remember, the size doesn't necessarily matter with the stone. It's just your intention and what you say when you place it. So I think crystal chips are a way to go when you're thinking about, I don't know, versatility and being affordable and how long they'll last and all the things you can do with them before you would ever run out. You won't run out. That was the crystal chips that, you know, if you have a favorite stone, I mean, you could literally put the little stones everywhere. You could make stuff out of it. You could have like these bottles all around your house, in your car, at your desk at work. Like, where couldn't you have it?
Where couldn't you have it?
Where couldn't you have it? I don't know. So we went through the spell jars, which I've showed you guys. Like I do dry my own herbs and flowers and stuff. So this is just marigold, and I keep it in here. It seals fresh. Oh, I was going to say, these are 9-ounce jars. And the other thing that you can look for, if you don't care about the black lid, like my Virgo ass, you can just do 9-ounce canning jars. 9-ounce, what are they called? Canning jars, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I have a bunch of.
A canning jar.
They're little, like jelly jars from like Dollar Tree or Dollar General sells like a whole pack of 12 of these little jelly. They're about the size of a small jelly thing, and they work really good for your apothecary.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Things that you're storing.
Yeah. No,
I like them to be uniform too because they store easier. They stack, and they're just so much easier than things that are weird shapes, different shapes rather.
Yeah.
Different sizes.
This is a prosperity jar that I did, I don't even know how many years ago. It's been a long time. There's one of those Asian coins. You know, I spent 4 years over in Asia living with the Navy, and I don't know, that's just like, because I was around that for so long, for me, it still is a symbol of like luck and wealth. And then honey, and I wrote some stuff on some green paper, and I melted a green candle on top. But again, I don't want things to be super messy. So you'll see how people have it like streaming down, and it looks beautiful. But I'll tell you what, you got to put that shit away. You got candle wax breaking off everywhere. You're stepping on it. It's in your carpet. It's on your shoe now. You're dragging it across the bathroom tile, and you're like, is that a large booger that just smeared? Like the stuff that happens with candle wax, and you'll just be like, what is that? Yes. So, that's just what I do. I don't know. I keep putting it by the speaker. Okay, I gotta set it off to the side. It just feels right to put things out in front of me.
But they can't see it.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's all right. We only have this much space that they can see. Okay, we're on the books. We're on the books.
You guys know how much we love books. I love books so much.
Okay. Go through the books and look at the progress of our candles.
Misty said she did the clear Christmas bulbs and put spells in them.
I know. I saw that. I love that idea.
I love that. That's so cool. I'm going to do a whole tree one year. Of just those bulbs. And everybody who comes over to my house, those be like, why do you have random shit in bulbs? What did you do?
Is that mine?
No.
Is that yours? Oh, no, because mine's much more worn out than that.
Yes, I brought my own book, so I didn't have to ask you to get anything out. You can't steal it. We have so many of the same books.
We have so many of the same books. You have to put our names on them, or we'll be like, is this my book or yours? Same with tarot decks. Is this my tarot deck or yours? Yeah.
Like, did you have this one? No, is that one mine? Because it'll be ones we don't always use, but we've brought to each other's houses. Then we get it all confused. So I do have 5 books for a witch's library that I think are extremely helpful. They're books that I've revisited. The illustrations, the questions that are in them, the way that they're written. It's not hokey. It's very practical. It's things that are spelled out for us, and you don't have to imagine, like, what does she mean by that? Like, what am I supposed to do? And the first one has to be the Solitary Witch's Green Book, which, if you've been here a while, you know that we built our Beginner Witch series using this book as an inspiration. It's super small, so it's lovely, and it just has activities to help you.
It's like a 6-week course for doing things like 5 days a week and then catching up on the weekends that are so simple.
It's small tasks.
So little tiny things that you do, and it's so witchy.
Yeah.
And especially if you're brand new, or if you know a witch who is brand new, it's like, where do I start? I think that is the perfect book to start with.
It is.
And we did the Beginner Witch series, again, based off of that book. And we did that series 3 times. And we're still getting people that come and watch the different videos.
Some of the highest videos watched on our channel.
Some of the highest videos are from that series.
Yes.
So it is a really good beginner witch, book. And just like I said, so small.
Yeah.
It's not a ton of reading. It's not a ton of work. It's not overcomplicated, but it exposes you to
140 pages.
It exposes you to about everything, literally, like scrying and, everything. And they're just really short little exercises that you do.
And I think that that's what's neat about this book is that you don't have to just do candle work. You don't have to just do tarot. This will walk you through so many different things. I think the exposure is what's really valuable because you don't know what you don't know in the beginning. And this gives you lots of little ideas. And they're just quick, simple things. And you're like, you might find one that you don't really like. And you're like, I wouldn't do that again. But then you'll find another practice and you want to dive, down the rabbit hole to find out everything you can about the practice. And that's what I like about it is that it's able to introduce all of these witchcraft topics in such a short amount of time and just so easily to where you can take off from there if you really wanted to. So that's the first book. And again, name, title is all in the description of the video. Next up, because, who doesn't love the moon as a witch? This is the 10-minute moon rituals, and it's by Simone Butler, and we have several of her books. I really like the way that she writes. It's literally 10-minute rituals that you can do for each of the moons, whether it's new moon or full moon. She gives you both. And then she tells you about being in particular zodiacs. So like what to do for the Taurus full moon, which we just had. Like that's in this book. So each full moon and each new moon in each sign is in this book. It's awesome. I love it.
It's great.
I think the other thing that you can't really tell is in here is if you have a moon, not if you have, when you know your moon sign, like we are Libra moons, in here it also says that. So you can read about this is moon in Virgo, which we're Virgo risings, but you can read about what your moon sign is for you. And then she also gives, my finger cramped. She gives additional things to look at, like what's your karmic path for having this moon? What's the Virgo moon characteristics? What's your lunar shadow? I'd never even heard of that before. I was like, what? But everything that we've read so far and all the people that we've had look at the book, it all aligns with them. So I'm like, all right, this is trustworthy information to me. Like it's for everything that we've read and done working with this book, it has really hit the nail on the head. Yes, we're going to go with that one. So that would be the second book that I would recommend to add to a witch's collection. Next is a book that I just love because it's nicely written. It's a grimoire kind of inside of a book, but it's called The Eclectic Witch's Book of Shadows. And it's, Book of Shadows, it's more like a grimoire because it's not really asking you shadow questions. But she has pages in here for just journaling. She has reflection pages. She's got things to do. She introduces you to all kinds of tools. It's not super condensed. So like every other page is blank and leaves you space for notes, things to look up, your thoughts, what to think about. It has small amounts of information on stuff. So like this is one page for stones that's got 3 stones on it. It just doesn't make it super intensive. Yeah, like it's not intensive. It's spread out nicely. The cute little drawings that she has in there. It's just, So it's a book that you're supposed to write in and really make it become your own. You can see I've got tabs in here of things that I've been working on or that I'll go back to. But I just really like it. And Deborah Blake, the lady who wrote this, she has worked for and with Llewellyn for like 20 years. She writes for them, and then I think she also does the illustrations. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But you'll see Deborah Blake's name around a lot in the witchcraft world. She's one of the people that I knew of her 20 years ago when I started because her name was already out there. Not in front of me. Not in front of me, Jamie. Oh, my gosh. Next up is a book very similar, but just different in its aesthetic. This is The Witch's Journal, and it's by Selene Silverwind. I don't know any of her other stuff or if she's ever written anything, but she has the way that she's made the book look and then the things that she adds to it. It's all kinds of really interesting little side notes and discoveries that she made, connections that go together for you to think about. It's not as straightforward as, say, the other book as far as reading and learning. It gives you more. It offers more into where things are really simple in other books. She offers more, like the history of things, or when it first got used, or when did it come into the witchcraft world. Going back into, she's got the Western astrology next to the Chinese astrology. So she's sort of comparing lots of timelines together, how things came to be, where myths might have started from. So I think this book is just for somebody who's looking for something that's not the run of the mill. I would say that this is a not run of the mill book where she has the way that she writes things and the little notes that she's put in there. I think it's really nicely done. Yes. So there's that one. And then lastly, okay, I had to research this book a little bit because I won't lie. I bought it used and I was like, yeah, let's see. I'm always interested in how people present the Wheel of the Year. And this book actually has like 10 editions. It's like, what? So I don't know what edition this one is because it doesn't look like the Amazon picture. And again, I bought this at a used bookstore, but this just has like mythology in it set up to go with the Wheel of the Year, which is the 8 holidays. And it's written different than what you'll find out there that's by just straight Llewellyn. This is by Sweetwater Press, which I like some of the authors that they've put out there. They think different. They're not so mainstream. So I like this one because all the other stuff you can find online, like you Google it, you're going to get all the answers that you're going to find in the regular Witches holiday books, which I have and I've had for a long time. But this offers different insight and connections. And so I like that you can go further or that you can learn more and that it's nicely illustrated too. She's got nice pictures in there. And I'm a sucker for aesthetics when it comes to witchcraft stuff. I find inspiration in them with making stuff or I don't know, just the way that things look. So she has crafts in here, knowledge in here, connections. It's just a different version and knowledge compared to the regular Llewellyn books. That would be my best way to describe that one. So I think that one's great too. And not every witch will have that. So it's not like, it's not going to be the same basic, books on your witchcraft shelf. What is next?
Let's see. Next is Travel Altar.
Oh, the Travel Altar. Okay. I want to explain something about getting a Travel Altar box that I've never addressed before because I never thought about it. But when I looked up on Amazon, like Travel Altar boxes, they're all these really thin piece of shit boxes that would literally crush if you threw your luggage too hard. And when you're using a Travel Altar, most of the time you're actually going somewhere with it. It's not just sitting in a bag nicely until you get to the beach. So finding the harder wood boxes, I think is pertinent if you want to use it on your travels. And then most of them, oh yeah, this is where I stored the candles that I can't get anymore. I know we're going to be getting that out in just a second.
Yeah,
sorry.
We are.
So tell me why this is. When I started looking at the wood of the boxes and what these are made from, a lot of these boxes do come from overseas like India and stuff. But why are they all made of mango wood? I never knew that before. Like this wood that you see carved like this, these boxes are made of mango wood. And I looked up so many different brands and all of them say that. Mango wood. Like our real mango tree. Mango. Really? Like what? Yeah, I don't know. But maybe it's the softness of the wood that allows them to get the designs in there. Like, I have no idea. But you want ones that when you open the box, see how thick this is? Make sure you get something that has a thick outline to the box. I will say that this one has a thinner base. I'm going to try to squeeze in closer. The wood here, you'll see that like the bottom is glued on from that. It's not carved the same as this one. See how thick the top is compared to how thin the bottom one is there? So the bottom of this would be able to be compromised more than the top would. And it's just something to think about when you buy altar boxes because you want things, whatever you store in here, to be safe. Having a nice closed fit also so that when you hold it and it doesn't just pop open, make sure it has a nice like fit. If you decide to get one with the metal and the little locky thing, just know that that metal is going to rust and look like shit in about a year. It is not going to stay. It's going to snag everything. The little tiny nails that they use to put in there, which you could put in yourself, they sell that stuff at the craft store, will fall out. It'll be a mess. So if you can find a nice, just purely wooden box that has a good closed fit, these are also better to buy at the like spirit festivals and stores. But I think when you get them at the spirit festivals, you'll find them cheaper than if you just go to a store and get it. I think they sell things like this at what's our favorite stores? Home Goods. Do they sell things like this at Home Goods?
They do. Mm-hmm. Especially all in the Indian stuff.
Yeah, like the carved boxes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Mine has blue felt in it. My other one does not have any felt in it. I don't feel the need to do that. Again, if you're storing candles in here, it's just going to get on that anyways. Like candles tend to flake and smear on everything. But for altar boxes, that is what I would suggest. If you can find a super hard paper type box, I have found some that work okay. This is probably my favorite style that, from India, carved mango wood, I guess. And then all the different styles they come in. Like I have one with a tree. I have one with the triple moon goddess. This one's a little bigger for my taste, so it's probably not going to go very far with me. Like it's not ideal for luggage for me. I like one that's half the size that I just keep the 4 elements in that I like. All right, over to Kat.
And we have one more, and then you can stop listening to Jamie talk. Because she's been talking nonstop for like 45 minutes.
You could talk. You could talk about this one. I can't stop just trying to tell me to shut up.
Our next and final thing is a Trinket moon tray. Oh, it's so cute. So it's a little dish that just sits on my shelf. I got this as a gift from my daughter, and it is called Trinket moon tray from Mooncraftlogy.
I don't know.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
But it's so cute and it's really nice and sturdy. And so you can see how thick this is. I mean, it's a nice quality piece.
It's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's not flimsy. It's not going to fall apart. It's really going to hold up over time. And I just love it. I think it's so cute. And they go together like so. Well, it's just super cute.
What I like about this one is they put paint over the wood, and it's almost like then they lasered out.
Oh yeah, they did, wood. Didn't they? They etched out the wood.
It's not like a print.
Yeah, it's not printed on there. I didn't notice that. I thought it was gold, but yeah, you're right.
No, it's the wood underneath, which you could paint it gold if you wanted to.
That's really nice. I love that.
For tools and things, I want shit to last. I don't want to have to buy stuff over. I don't want it to be flimsy. Storing stones or spells or anything. What do you store on this, Mom?
Well, nothing yet. No, I have actually put a candle in this.
Yeah.
So I set a candle in that, and I have put some crystals in this.
Yeah.
But it hasn't it sits on a shelf for now until I need it for something. So, do you have, our next thing is stickers for your grimoire and stickers for your sticker studio apothecary?
That's the book. Yeah.
Oh, is that the book?
It's a book.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm a craft whore for sure. I love crafts and anything to do with crafts. I'm going to buy everything. I just cannot help myself. That artist at heart, I just can't get away from it. So when I find things that makes it more manageable to have crafty shit, I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So having stickers inside of a book is more helpful for me than digging through all the little packs that I have of them.
I have lots of packs of stickers.
See? And then you can't see them all. But when you have your stickers in a book, you can like turn to the page. You can just flip through and see the different styles. And
so it's kind of like the sticker books when you were kids, then you eventually would get all the stickers out and then it would just be empty pages where the stickers used to be.
Don't make me sad thinking about it. It'll be empty one day. It'll fill my grimoire. That's what it'll fill. So of course there's like 2 sticker pages, and then you'll have the page behind it is paper, and she has cute little sayings in there. Does that say Anne Frank?
Think of all the beauty still left around you and be happy, Anne Frank.
Yeah. So there's just little sayings in it, but it's a book of stickers. That's literally it. And I like it better. It says over 600 artful stickers. It has different styles. Like they got the old style, depending on what you like to put in your grimoire, or I don't know, does everybody put stickers in their grimoire, or is that just
if you don't, you should start right now.
You should start. Then it has things like this,
or even your journal. They're fun to add to your journal too.
Journals. That's okay. That's probably what I should have put instead.
Anything that you do in your journal that you can add stickers and things to makes it more fun.
And stuff. Yeah. It's I just thought it was a cool book. It was only $12, and okay, this is the weird shit. I'm not into the organs. I don't know other people if they are into the different body parts and organs with flowers. I mean, so that will probably never get used. What will I do with that? I'll have to get. There's a set of dentures or
there's
something.
There's a tooth.
I don't know. Listen, we need all kinds of witches. So that's all I can think of is like there's just all kinds of witches. And so they made a book that has all kinds of elements in it. That's right, all kinds of kinds.
All kinds of kinds.
Yeah. You can't see all the pages that I have used. Was that the last thing? Stickers?
That was the last thing, yes.
Hey, we didn't
and look at our candles. Look what's happened to all of our candles. They're all gone. The one that this one that we put up last, the pink one, it's the one that's actually burned down. That went the fastest. So it's the one that's little flame down here.
Yeah, see, I told you. Those ones were only 30.
Is it
yeah.
the pink?
Yes, that was where the pink one would be.
Oh, okay.
Over here.
Okay, yeah.
This is the original blue one, which I started at 640, and now it is 806. And that little guy, you can still see some of his blue right there. Like he does not want to burn down. And then this is a second one that we tried, that we scored. So he got started at least a half hour to 40 minutes later. Yeah. He's almost the same size. So scoring definitely helped bring the time down on that. But yeah, listen, I'm going to be looking for 30-minute candles because now that I can't get them, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is why I buy in bulk, so I don't have to worry about it for 6 fucking years of how I'm going to get stuff.
Oh, spells involving body parts you could use those stickers for. What a great idea.
I have not done that, but yes, I think that would be, I could see where that would be relevant.
Absolutely.
A toothache, Mom. That's what the tooth was for.
A toothache.
A toothache.
Well, everybody has those from time to time. They suck.
Right?
Big time.
Well, you can put clove oil on it and it takes the toothache away.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know.
I'm getting more into, what do you call that? Home remedies?
Do I have clove oil in here?
Well, now that says essential oils.
Okay. So what kind of clove oil? Something that you would get at like.
Well, the difference between essential oils and oils that you would actually use for healing. I can't get over
the smell every time I open this box up. It's just.
It has to be food grade oils. It has to be oils that you can ingest because I'm sure it says somewhere on here. Don't eat them.
There was something that came with it.
100% pure therapeutic grade, not food grade.
I put them on my skin though.
Okay.
I've never had any problem with them because I really love this way some of them smell.
Yeah.
So.
I mean,
perfume's so fucking expensive anymore. Like, who the fuck can even afford perfume anymore? They made it outrageously expensive.
I don't use perfume.
I like perfume. I like to smell good.
Get a rosemary plant and then just put it in your neck and crease, and then in your arms crease, and you'll smell like rosemary all day long. Rosemary oil, it's an oil and it's sticky. It'll stick to you.
Okay.
Yes. With that.
Okay, so
this is our Witches QVC shopping edition with lots of notes and tips and our likes and our suggestions. We really hope that you guys enjoyed this, but also that you got something from it to where if you're in need of a supply or to find something that's like trustworthy that other witches have already used, all of these things except for these candles, I already told you guys I hadn't used these little ones, but now you've seen them used. And if they're good for you, that would be ideal. I'm going to miss my 30-minute candle. I don't know what I'm going to do. That's a conundrum I'm going to have to solve for myself. But yeah, just to add things to refresh your practice, to start, going in a different direction or practicing more often. That's really what all of the tools are here for us to do. You don't need any of this stuff to practice witchcraft. But it sure does help when you're trying to create a ritual and get in the mood and have things around you that support that by bringing your mood up, kind of like how music does, or, going to the gym.
Or smells.
Yeah. And having like just being in the environment of something. It's like, okay, so I'm here to work out because I'm in a gym. Okay. I'm at the swimming pool. I'm probably going to tan or get in the water. Like your environment helps set the mood for what you're about to do in your actions. And we just hope that, some of these things that we showed you tonight.
Put a clove right on the tooth. Misty says.
Oh, just put a clove
like
right on
a
the
clove,
tooth? I have not done that one. Just clove oil.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, now I don't have any teeth. Who's wishing for a toothache? I'm like, I don't have a toothache to test this. What am I going to do?
Well, let's hope you don't get one because nobody wants a toothache.
Don't need it.
And they always happen on the weekend when the dentist is closed.
That's like things breaking. The AC always goes off Saturday morning when you can't have AC for a whole weekend. Bad That timing.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
All right.
Listen, we love you so much, and we're going to miss you over the holiday break. But Kat and I will come back strong in 2025 with a whole new set of things to do, talk about. We really have liked the crafting part of this for the fall with the reclaiming your power.
It's been really fun.
Yeah, so we're thinking of how to sort of restructure the life so that we're not feeling as drained and we're not just a couple of talking heads giving you information that you can see us go through stuff, do something, be more interactive. I was going to say entertaining, but I'm not sure that. Just to give you
more
something
engaging
else.
when you're watching us do something than just us talking.
Sitting here feeling like a professor or something. I don't know. But I hope you guys have a wonderful Yule season.
Mm-hmm.
Remember to take time for yourself. Like get away from everything and everyone and all the loud music, lights, everything, and take moments to just breathe and be you, and then re-engage. That's so important during this time. We get overwhelmed. Like, it's so much.
And if you are not already listening to our podcast, we started a podcast a couple months ago.
Yep.
And it's on Spotify. It's called The Witch's Way. We also put we post the recordings to a playlist on our YouTube channel. So if you can't find it on Spotify, or it's not convenient for you to be on Spotify or Apple Music, which is it's on both places, you can just go to our YouTube channel, find the playlist for the Witch's Way podcast, and start listening to it.
You can, yeah.
And each one of them is addressing some different theme,
problem,
usually around healing and transformation and the things that we're going through.
Problems,
and we are definitely doing podcasts that align with what's going on at this particular time, this season, the new year. So we're ahead. So we recorded ahead, and we have all those things waiting just to they post on the podcast. Go live on Saturday night at 6:00 on Spotify, and then by Sunday I usually have the video on our YouTube channel. So make sure you're tuning into that, because we're really loving doing it, and we hope you find some good information there.
Yeah, we just got our first comment that we're new to podcasting, of course, but just got our first comment, and it was like, oh shit, we need to check for this. We didn't even know. We didn't know people could comment on the podcast episodes. I was like, oh, something.
Somebody left us the nicest
it was beautiful
compliment. She said she's like listening to us on her morning walk, and it's really inspiring her, and she just loves us. And I was like, oh my god, that's so nice.
I think often when we're recording stuff, and like with the lives, we can't see people anymore. It's not like with the meetup where we could see other people's faces and really interact. We have this idea of what people might be doing, or how they're watching or listening to us. And now I told her, and when I responded to the comment, I said, well, now when we're recording, I'm going to picture you like on this morning walk and kind of like getting your own time in, like being with yourself and doing something for yourself. Because she said, she's on a healing journey. And I'm like, girl, me too. And I mean, I've been doing this a long time, but I think we're always on a healing journey from something, doing something, going somewhere. And I just loved that. So yeah, that is where we will be while we are on a small break from the YouTube channel. But the
from
podcast,
our lives,
from our lives,
we're not
from our lives. Yeah.
We're taking our winter break
from
lives, because a lot is going on this time of year.
Yeah.
And we just need some downtime to attend to family things and holiday things, and also have just a little bit of downtime to reflect, so that we can have great topics for you guys, great lives for you, and podcasts. And I'm working on writing the blog on our website, so I'm trying to get more into that. So check it out. And we hope to see you again really soon, somewhere. Listen, we check comments everywhere. And so I got bit by a bunch of mosquitoes. If you're wondering, like, what is going on, why I keep reaching down.
You're bending all over the place?
Well, the other night when we read tarot cards out on your gazebo, I was wearing long pants, but my ankles, all around my ankles, I've got like 3 bites on each ankles, and they're absolutely driving me crazy.
What's a home remedy for that?
Yeah, who knows of a home remedy for mosquito bites? Is it cloves? Is it something else? Or I sprinkle cinnamon on them?
Clear nail polish.
Anyway, and they're just like, they're so bad. So that's why I keep doing this. And it probably looks really strange to you, but I can't stop scratching. So sorry about that. But anyway, we hope to see you really soon somewhere on one of our platforms. And if not, come back. We'll announce a live.
Yeah.
We'll announce a live.
It'll be in February.
In February. Yeah. February. We'll start on it and we'll announce the new series of the lives for, the first part of 2025.
Yes.
So
all right.
We love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with us.
Merry Witchmas. And we'll see you next time.
Take care, witches.
Bye.
Bye.